Good morning, Year 2, and welcome back to your online home learning. I hope you're having a really lovely morning so far, and welcome back to Wednesday's maths lesson. Okay, I'm going to share my screen and we can get going. Okay, so here we are. Now, the last couple of lessons in maths, you've been working really hard to learn another strategy to help you to divide. You've been learning about the strategy called grouping. Now, today in your learning, you're going to be learning to divide by 2. Now, you can now choose whether you find grouping easier or whether you prefer to do sharing. That's completely up to you, whichever strategy you want to use to help you with your learning. But to start off with, we're going to do a bit of counting. We're going to count in 2s, and we're going to be practicing counting forwards and backwards. So first, using the 100 square on the screen, you may want to get your own up. I want you to count forwards in 2s from 10 to 36, and then count backwards in 2s from 88 back to 64. Okay, pause the video now, have a go at doing that on your own, and then we'll do it together in a moment. Okay, so let's start with counting forwards. Okay, all together with me. 1, 2, 3. 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36. That was our counting forwards, and now counting backwards from 88 to 64. So let's find 88 on our 100 square after 3. 1, 2, 3. 88, 86, 84, 82, 80, 78, 76, 74, 72, 70, 68, 66, 64. Okay, thank you for joining in with me, and let's start our learning. Okay, so we've had a little chat about what we learned to do last lesson and on Monday. So today we're going to be beginning to learn to divide by 2. Okay, so here we are, starting off with our first picture. We've got some cubes in our picture, and they've been put into groups already. 3 sentences for us to get going with. I have blank cubes all together. There are blank in each group. There are blank groups. Okay, so I want you to have a go at completing those sentences. It's up to you whether you want to write them down or whether you want to just say them. Okay, once you've completed those 3 sentences, I'd like you to challenge yourself to write a division number sentence to match this picture, and then a multiplication number sentence as well. Okay, pause the video now and have a go at those sentences and those number sentences. Okay, let's go through the answers together then. So, looking at our picture, I have 6 cubes all together. There are 2 in each group, and there are 3 groups. So if I was to write that as a division number sentence, 6 would be my total, and I'm dividing into groups of 2 equals 3. There are 3 groups. And if I was writing that as a multiplication number sentence, I have 3 groups of 2, or 3 lots of 2, or 3 multiplied by 2, and the total of that is 6. Okay, well done if you managed to get those. So we've now got some socks, a selection of socks. Now I want you to use your grouping knowledge to group these socks into pairs. Now, first of all, you need to think about how many is in a pair. Okay, well, there's 2 socks in a pair. So you may want to draw all of the socks to start with, and then draw a circle around them in groups of 2. Okay, as you do that, I want you to think about, what do you notice when you group these objects in 2s? And can you see a link between dividing by 2 and finding half or halving? Okay, once you've had to think about those questions, I want you to use the picture to complete a division number sentence and a multiplication number sentence. Pause the video now and have a go at those together, and then we'll go through the answers in a moment. Okay, let's go through together then. So I've grouped my socks into pairs, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 2 socks. Now dividing by 2 and finding half is the same thing, okay? Dividing by 2 and finding half is the same, okay? So if I was to write my number sentences then, I have 8 divided by 2, so dividing into groups of 2 equals 4 groups. And then for my multiplication number sentence, I have 4 multiplied by 2, and that total is 8. Okay, well done everybody. So finally then, for our practice, again, we've got a bar model like we had a practice at yesterday. Now this bar model is going to be a sharing bar model. Okay, so a little easier than the one yesterday. Mo and Tommy have 12 sweets between them. They share them equally. So if you look at our bar model here, it's been split into 2. So I can share 1 to Mo, 1 to Tommy, 1 to Mo, 1 to Tommy, counting up to 12. Okay, so we want to find out how many sweets does each child get. And again, we've got 3 sentences to complete here. There are blank sweets altogether. There are blank groups. There are blank in each group. So the first 2 sentences you can complete now because that's information you've already been given. The final one, you'll need to do your sharing first. Now, as a bit of a challenge there, I'd like you to try and write a multiplication and a division number sentence. Okay, and have a see if you write those, what do you notice? Okay, let's share those answers together then. So here we are. Now, first of all, looking at my bar model, as you can see, I've drawn 6 dots in this side and 6 dots in this side. But to do it, I didn't put the 6 and then 6. I put 1 in each side, counting up to 12. So I know my groups are equal because each group has got 6 sweets. So looking at my sentences then, there are 12 sweets altogether. There are 2 groups. There are 6 in each group. So each child gets 6 sweets. So now if I wanted to write that as a multiplication and division number sentence, I would write 12 divided by 2. So 12 divided into 2 groups now, and there's 6 in each group. And here we've got 2 groups of 6, which equals 12. Okay then, so to look at our main activity, you've got a series of division number sentences, as you can see here. 6 divided by 2, 10 divided by 2, 14 divided by 2, 0 divided by 2, and 18 divided by 2. Now it's your choice how you want to find the answers to these. You could either draw a picture by sharing. So remember to draw your 2 sharing circles. You might want to draw a bar model to share or even to group if you wanted to. You may want to use objects at home to either share or to group them. If you're grouping them, then remember, for example, for this first one, 6 into groups of 2. So you'd have groups of 2. So you'd take 6 objects, put 2 marbles, 2 marbles, 2 marbles. Or if you were sharing, you would have 6 as your total, 2 sharing circles, 1 to one side, 1 to the other side, and carry on doing that until you find the total. So it's up to you whether you want to use the sharing strategy or the grouping strategy to help you here. So finally then, let's have a look at our challenge X. Ron has shared some grapes equally between 2 friends. And you can see Ron's friends here. Each friend receives fewer than 50 grapes. Complete the sentences to describe the number of grapes Ron started with. So 3 sentences here. So he must have started with, he could have started with, or he can't have started with. So 3 sentences there. What must he have started with for each friend to receive fewer than 50 grapes? Remember, they both have the same number of grapes. What could he have started with? So what could the possibility be? And what can he absolutely not have started with for the friends to receive fewer than 50 grapes? Okay, that's quite a tricky one there, so have a really good think. You might want to draw a picture to help you to find the answer to that one. Okay, take some time to think about it and come back together with me when you're ready to look at the answer together. Okay, so let's have a look at a possibility here. So he must have started with an even number of grapes. Okay, so remember, an even number is where it can be divided into 2 groups equally. Okay, even numbers start with 2, 4, 6, 8 or 0, multiples of 2. Okay, so he must have started with an even number. It could be any even number. He could have started with 40 grapes. He can't have started with 100 grapes. Because if he was sharing 100 grapes equally between 2 friends, that would mean they would each have 50 grapes. But it says here, each friend receives fewer than 50 grapes. Okay, so have a little go at finding, you might be able to find a different possibility to the one that I found. Okay, so finally then, to end our maths today, we've got a multiplication number sentence. 5 multiplied by 10. Now for this one, you may want to show me drawings in a different way. You may want to draw me an array. You may want to draw a pictorial representation to help you solve 5 multiplied by 10. Okay, so if we look at the answer together then, 5 multiplied by 10, or 5 groups of 10 equals 50. Okay, well done if that was the answer that you found as well. Well, thank you for joining me once again, Year 2, for our fabulous maths lesson. I hope you had a lovely time. I hope you continue to have a really wonderful day today. I'll see you again in the morning for some more morning fluency. Goodbye for now.